Hi guys, it's Ruthie with the Popo Backyard Farm. I want to tell you guys a nice, easy, practical way to make a face mask. Now what I did, I'll start this off by saying this. I was concerned about my 89, 90-year-old mother that she would not have enough face masks. She lives like an hour away from me, so I'm going to make her some and send them to her. But I went out to the Mennonite store, which was one of the few places that still had some fabric and sewing supplies. So I was really happy to get there. You could use old clothes for this, but I just wanted to give you some pointers to help you out. First of all, to make the mask, you'll need some sewing needles, possibly a thimble. I recommend, if you have a old mask, I had some because I had some allergy issues a while back, so I actually just had some on hand. But what I did was I took them apart to kind of make my template. But I want to give you some pointers on making a mask that will fit and look and work for you. Okay, first of all, you want to get some fabric. Some people I know have been using old shirts, cotton t-shirts. I know a few people even that told me they cut up their old underwear, which I got a kick out of that one. But basically, get your fabric, and you want it to be 2-ply for the mask. So, what you're going to do is you're going to measure with the old mask. If you don't have one, just kind of cut out a square. I recommend bigger rather than smaller, especially if you have somebody in your family that has a beard. So what you're going to do basically is you're going to go, and you don't need this to go, just do a rectangle. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, these are just little remnants, so I wasn't worried about it. Then you're going to, this one will actually make 2 masks, this particular fabric. And you'll fold it like this. And you'll kind of measure. I think it's important that when you're making these, to measure your face where you want it to fit. Because a pattern, I made one and then I'm like, uh-oh, there's too many gaps. So you'll have it 3, okay? Now, if you have never sewed before, what you're going to want to do, if you're going to hand sew like I am, because it's just easier. I just sit and watch a movie with my husband and hand sew. You just kind of go once over and then again, because if you go to wash it, it will be frayed if you don't do this kind of an end where you have it folded over. If you have it just like this, it will fray and it won't be good. So you have to fold it over one more time. There's a lot of little steps with this, so that's kind of the issue with all the masks to make them fit correctly. So then you're going to do this on this side and on the other side, which I'll show you, like on this side and on this side, okay? Then what you're going to do is you'll have them in there folded. When you go to sew it, you're going to take the needle and thread and sew like right through all of it at once, because you want it thinner to hide any gaps, okay? So it will be like that, kinda. It can be tighter, looser, but see how it's going to make room for your face, your nose and everything? So both of the sides are going to be like that. Just one piece of thread, and you can just sew it on the other end. See how this is flat? You're gonna want it like that, okay? Because when you use fabric, it's a little bit different than these masks. Because if you make it like this, it's going to buckle and you'll have this will all be open. Okay? Then, see that little metal thing? You're going to either take a piece of elastic, or if you have a metal tie, or if you have masks, just pull it out of there and make that thing. Or you can use foil or elastic. If you do elastic, you're going to want to pull it taut all the way across so it will be snug on your nose. And this is for your nose, okay? So see how they have, it goes down like this? You're going to sew there all the way across the nose piece, Okay, and you'll do that on your fabric. I know I'm not necessarily showing it on the fabric, but I want you to see the whys. And I have done these with fabric and the metal, or elastic and the metal. I actually like the elastic better, but you have to make sure you pull it taut. Okay? And so, in the end, all you have to do is sew the elastic on. And like I said, you can take apart old clothes or whatever. Now, I bought this. And it's not going to be perfect, and it might fray, but it might be cheaper to buy it this way because they only had like so much little stuff at the store. I mean, the Amish store was packed. So what you're going to do is I'm going to just cut little thin strips. And then I can use this around the ear. You know, you don't want it so snug on your ear that it hurts. So you're going to have to like measure everything. And if you think of the mask, okay, let's see where this rectangle, let's see, okay, it's got, you know, how much space in the ears. Okay, so you can see that. You want it comfortable, but not so tight that it's hurting your ears. There was a nickname somebody was using, and I don't even remember what it was. If you know, you can put it in the comments below for when it hurts your ears. But when your mask is done, it should look something like this. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Now this one, like I said, had metal in it. It'll be thinner on the sides. This will be a little bit more bumpy. It'll fit snug around the nose. Some people put the nose piece underneath their glasses to keep it on. I don't have to do that because mine are snug, but if that is an issue, or if you forget to use the nose piece or don't want to deal with that and you wear glasses all the time, you can just tuck that nose piece right under your glasses. But see how it's snug there? And then if you turn it over, you're going to have room. I just left it open because you don't really want to sew it tight, because if you do, you're going to have a smaller mask. You want this to fit your face like, and it will. It can either go down, up, or whatever, but you'll find that this will be just about right. So, may not be the perfect tutorial about making a mask, but I wanted to help all the newbies and people that are hand sewing, aren't expert sewers, but you know, you can make a few masks. I personally suggest, because I don't know how long the virus is going to go on, I don't know if it's going to turn around and come back next year, I'd make a bunch. When you're done with them, you can just stick them in a drawer and donate them if you don't want them, but I'd probably save them for a year in case you need them in the future, in case the virus comes around again. Or you just, like I said, what's worst case scenario? You can use them for dusting rags in the end. But I'm going to make a bunch for my family. And like I said, I wanted to make some for my mom. And it takes me, to be honest with you, it takes me about an hour to hand sew it at night. I mean, I could use the machine and dig out all that, but to be honest with you, there's so many little parts that have to be done by hand. I just said it's just easier. So I hope you enjoyed this. But if you're watching this video, you might and probably won't be able to find all the things I have here at the store. But if you have an Amish Mennonite specialty store, you might be able to. I looked out, the Mennonite store, it's actually the Mennonite store, was packed. I was surprised how many people were in there. I mean, there was, you know, it's usually just, you know, maybe a few people. It was really full. And I was really happy because they had tons of elastic, tons of fabric. They'll probably end up running out because a lot of people will hear about it and find out about it. I was going to cut up old clothes for all this. And then I thought, you know, I wanted to have my mom have some nice things so that when she's there, so I bought some nice fabric for her. So anyway, I think there's like 3 of them here. I've got some more, I think, in the bag. So I'm going to send her some masks so that she can wash them and keep them clean. And I know, too, that if you do sew, you know, think about the older people, because they can't always use their hands, or maybe they can't get out, and that would be a nice gesture to make sure that you take care of some of the senior citizens, to make sure that they have everything that they need. Okay, guys, so with that, like, subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. And make sure you make a few face masks. And like I said, if you don't sew and you absolutely have no desire to sew, use masking tape or duct tape or something, and you can make yourself a mask that way using the principles of sewing. It doesn't have to be anything major. Okay, we'll see you in the next video. God bless. And remember, big or small, you too can be a backyard farm.